The Amish have long been celebrated for their ability to cultivate flourishing gardens without the reliance on machinery, chemicals, or modern tools. Their 50-age-old gardening strategies could utterly transform your backyard, leaving you wondering why you didn't adopt them earlier. Let's delve into these ingenious methods. A penny for your pots. The Amish community treasures natural and simplistic solutions to gardening dilemmas. One intriguing technique involves placing a clean copper penny in plant pots before adding soil. This trick functions as a natural fungal deterrent as copper ions are gradually released into the soil, creating an inhospitable environment for mold and mildew. It's akin to having a vigilant sentinel safeguarding your plant's roots around the clock. While many gardeners invest heavily in chemical fungicides, this economical hack costs mere cents. Ensure the penny is clean, as the verdant patina may appear charming but does little for your flora. And if your pennies mysteriously vanish, you might need to interrogate your cat about its newfound penchant for coins. Egg water for robust growth. Don't discard the water from boiled eggs. It's an eco-friendly elixir enriched with calcium, ideal for nurturing plants. As the eggs cook, calcium leaches into the water, providing a natural boost to plant cell walls. Think of it as an energy drink for your greenery. Especially beneficial for tomatoes and peppers prone to calcium deficiencies, this practice aligns seamlessly with the Amish ethos of resourcefulness. Let the water cool before use. Plants, much like humans, abhor extreme temperatures. Tea leaves, more than a morning ritual. Used tea leaves hold untapped potential as a nutrient-rich fertilizer. Drawing from traditions like those of the Amish, scattering cooled tea leaves around plants or burying them near roots offers a slow-release nutrient supply. Packed with tannins and nitrogen, green tea leaves are particularly valuable, containing significantly more nitrogen than coffee grounds. Just remember to remove staples from tea bags. Your plants don't need metallic adornments. Coffee grounds, nitrogen powerhouse. Rather than tossing used coffee grounds, repurpose them to enrich your soil. These grounds, comprising approximately 2% nitrogen, serve as a potent soil amendment. Sprinkle them around plant bases or add them to your compost pile. However, moderation is crucial. Excessive coffee grounds may acidify the soil. Even earthworms are avid fans, thriving on the organic matter much like humans relish their morning brew. Eggshell seedling starters. Half an eggshell doubles as an excellent biodegradable pot for seedlings. Rinse the shells, create a small drainage hole, and fill them with soil and seeds. Once ready for transplantation, plant the entire shell, which decomposes and enriches the soil with calcium. And if curious onlookers ask about eggs in your garden, tell them you're cultivating an omelet tree. It's a conversation starter worth its weight in humor. The art of seed saving. Preserving seeds is akin to curating a botanical time capsule. The Amish excel at this, selecting seeds from their healthiest plants. Ensure seeds are thoroughly dried and stored in a cool, dark place to prevent moisture damage. Properly stored seeds boast up to a 90% success rate, far exceeding store-bought options. Label them diligently to avoid surprises. Carrots masquerading as pumpkins are rarely welcome. Compost. Transforming waste into black gold. Turning kitchen scraps into compost is a practice steeped in tradition. By layering organic waste with leaves, grass clippings, and soil, you initiate nature's recycling process. Over time, microorganisms break down the materials into nutrient-rich compost, affectionately termed black gold. Avoid adding meat or dairy to prevent attracting uninvited wildlife guests. Hair as pest control. Human hair, an unconventional yet effective pest deterrent, finds a place in Amish gardens. Scatter hair around your garden's perimeter to repel deer and rabbits, while its decomposition enriches the soil with nitrogen. This dual-purpose method embodies sustainable gardening, transforming something as mundane as hair into a potent resource. Crop rotation, a dance for nutrient balance. Rotating crops prevents nutrient depletion and reduces pest infestations. Following traditional Amish wisdom, alternate heavy feeders like tomatoes with nitrogen-fixing plants such as beans, then transition to light feeders like carrots. Keeping a record of plant placements ensures optimal results and a balanced nutrient cycle. Creative reuse. Terracotta markers. Repurpose broken terracotta pots as durable garden markers. Label the fragments with plant names using a permanent marker and place them in the soil. These markers endure the elements, blending seamlessly into the garden's aesthetic. Burying fish scraps for fertility. An ancient yet effective method involves burying fish scraps near plants. As the scraps decompose, they release a nutrient-rich blend of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium essential for robust growth. Ensure scraps are buried deeply to deter curious animals from disturbing your garden. Manure tea. Liquid gold for plants. Manure tea, though unglamorous, is a nutrient-dense fertilizer steeped from aged manure. Dilute the concentrated liquid to resemble weak tea before applying it to plants. This cost-effective solution ensures thriving greenery without synthetic fertilizers. Companion planting for symbiosis. Certain plants thrive in each other's company. Basil enhances the flavor of tomatoes while repelling pests, and marigolds deter vegetable predators. Strategic pairings create a harmonious garden ecosystem, minimizing pest issues and maximizing yields. Growing potatoes vertically. Cultivating potatoes in barrels saves space and amplifies yield. Layer soil and seed potatoes, adding more soil as the plants grow. At harvest, simply tip over the barrel to unearth your bounty, a thrilling moment akin to discovering buried treasure. Scatter seeds with cornmeal. Mixing tiny seeds with cornmeal facilitates even distribution during planting. The cornmeal acts as a carrier, enhancing visibility and ensuring consistent germination. This Amish-inspired hack simplifies the process and boosts seedling success rates. By embracing these time-honored techniques, your garden can flourish with minimal reliance on modern conveniences, much like the lush gardens of the Amish. What's the point of growing vegetables you'll never eat? Taking inspiration from practical Amish wisdom, focus on planting foods your family genuinely enjoys. Studies show that home gardeners waste up to 30% of their harvest on crops no one wants to eat. That experimental artichoke patch might sound exciting, but if your family finds artichokes as appealing as eating pine cones, it's time to reconsider. Instead, start with crowd pleasers like tomatoes, lettuce, or herbs you regularly use in cooking. A successful garden isn't measured by its variety, but by how often its produce fills your plates. One gardener tracked her family's vegetable consumption for a year and discovered they ate 20 times more snap peas than Brussels sprouts. Needless to say, her garden planning became much simpler after that. Remember, the best-tasting vegetables are the ones that make it to your table. Sow densely, then transplant. In gardening, being crowded isn't always bad. Just ask any Amish farmer. Begin by sowing seeds close together in a small area, much like packing teenagers into a concert, tight but breathable. Once the seedlings reach about 2 inches tall, carefully separate and transplant the strongest ones into their final homes. This method saves space during the critical early growing period and lets you choose the most vigorous plants. Studies show densely sown seeds germinate 15% better thanks to shared warmth and moisture. It's like running a plant beauty pageant. Everyone's a winner. The strongest get the best garden spots, while the smaller ones can be used for container gardens or gifted to friends. Plant seeds point down. Take a cue from generations of Amish gardeners who've mastered seed starting. Position seeds with their pointed ends facing downward. This small detail can significantly improve germination rates. It's like giving your seeds a compass pointing toward growth. The pointy end contains the root tip, and when it's already facing down, the seed doesn't waste energy figuring out direction. Research shows properly oriented seeds germinate up to 2 days faster. While this method takes a bit more time, your seeds will reward you by sprouting quickly. Just remember, this only works with seeds that have an obvious point. Trying to find the pointy end of carrot seeds might drive you crazy. Control weeds naturally. Battling weeds doesn't require chemical warfare. The Amish often rely on natural solutions like vinegar or bleach. White vinegar, 5% acetic acid, is especially effective on sunny days, with studies showing it can kill up to 80% of weeds within 24 hours. For tougher weeds, bleach can be a stronger option, though it's harsher on the soil. One gardener joked that her vinegar spray was so effective, even the dandelions brought their own salad dressing. Use these solutions sparingly, as they affect everything they touch. Keep them away from prize plants unless you're aiming for a post-apocalyptic garden aesthetic. Feed tomato plants with banana peels. Your morning banana could be the secret to growing prize-winning tomatoes. In the spirit of waste-free Amish gardening, banana peels are rich in potassium, which tomato plants crave. Chop the peels into small pieces and bury them an inch deep around your plants. As they decompose, they release potassium, which helps develop stronger stems and more flavorful fruit. Lab tests show banana peels contain up to 42% potassium, making them a natural energy booster for plants. Just don't overdo it. Your tomatoes might love banana peels, but your neighbors won't appreciate the fruit fly party they attract. Enrich soil with crushed eggshells. Crushed eggshells act as a calcium supplement for your garden. Instead of tossing them, save those shells to nurture your plants. Crush them finely. Smaller pieces decompose faster and release calcium into the soil. Research shows soil enriched with eggshells has 20% more calcium, preventing blossom end rot in tomatoes and strengthening plant cells. Additionally, the sharp edges deter slugs and snails. As one gardener joked, her plants got more calcium than her breakfast cereal, and her tomatoes never complained about drinking their milk. Deadhead flowers for more blooms. Think of deadheading flowers as giving your plants a fresh haircut. Removing spent blooms encourages new growth and prevents the plant from wasting energy on seed production. Inspired by Amish practices of maximizing yields, this simple maintenance task can increase blooms by up to 50%. Pinch or cut off faded flowers just above the nearest healthy leaf or bud. This sends a signal to the plant to produce more blooms, essentially hitting the garden's refresh button. Just remember to save a few flowers at the end of the season if you want to collect seeds. Repel rabbits with urine. This tip may sound unconventional, but even Amish farmers swear by it. Use predator urine to keep rabbits away. Whether from humans or dogs, the scent creates an invisible barrier, making rabbits think twice about treating your garden like a salad bar. Dilute the urine with water, 1 part urine to 10 parts water, and spray it around the garden's perimeter. Research shows gardens protected this way see 70% fewer rabbit visits. One gardener joked that his garden became so well-guarded, the rabbits started wearing gas masks. Just be mindful of when you apply it. Your neighbors might not appreciate this method during a backyard